Welcome and thank you for joining us in our pilot episode of RaDex Unboxing Digital. COVID-19 has greatly disrupted the way you run your respective businesses, creating the need for you to digitize as your respective end customers shift to more digital and cashless transactions. As one of the country's most trusted internet service providers, we at RaDex took it as our responsibility to equip businesses with the appropriate tools that will allow you to pivot to the right path in your digital journey. That is why we are officially launching today RaDex Unboxing Digital, a mindshare hub where the world's leading tech companies and software providers from around the world share best practices to benefit local companies. Together with our partners, we thank you for joining us again, and we hope that through RaDex, we will be able to impart the technology know-how and capabilities to propel your organization forward into the age of digitization.
Good afternoon to everyone, STEAM educators and guests from the Academe. Thank you for sharing your time with us. To paint a better picture of the current educational landscape, data suggests that learning institutions are struggling with the onset of the pandemic due to the low enrollment turnout in the past school year. And this is primarily a result of their inability to adapt to online learning practices and availability of reliable and affordable internet connections. In fact, over 850 private schools were driven to suspend their operations across Central Luzon, Calabarzon, and Metro Manila alone. In light of the recent push by CHED for flexible learning, we are reaching out to institutions like yourselves to help you with not just internet connectivity, but to discover how to design and deliver your programs, courses, and learning interventions to address the students' unique needs in terms of 4 Ps. That is pace, place, process, and products for learning. That is what our partners from DDLS and Microsoft will share with us today. And with our partnership, we will be able to provide a complete and more comprehensive solution to address the needs of modern education through unmatched and reliable internet connectivity by RaDex Telecoms, free training for faculty expert certification through DDLS, and Microsoft solution for education featuring Microsoft 365. Allow me to deep dive a bit on what RaDex can offer. Last year, we started rolling out our gigabit passive optical network in our coverage area, that is Metro Manila, Bulacan, Rizal, Cavite, and Laguna, and our newly opened Clark and Cebu regional offices. This allowed us to offer our broadband internet and even bundled with Signal's IPTV to complete our dual play offer branded as Red Broadband. We know that we have existing internet providers out there, but what we offer is a new option for the enterprise, SME, and residential market. A more reliable, affordable, full fiber broadband internet to support continuous learning for our students and children. Thank you and stay safe to everyone. At this point, before I turn you over to our partners at Microsoft and DDLS to enrich us with their excellent education portfolio, let me introduce to you our next speaker, Mr. Vet Watson. Vet has been with Microsoft for half a decade now, with experience and expertise in Microsoft collaboration and communication portfolio of products, including Office 365 for enterprise. He started out as an Office 365 adoption specialist in 2015 and became a solutions architect in Asia Pacific in 2018. Now he is the modern work and security business lead responsible for the Microsoft 365 business in the Philippines, including business management, product, partner marketing, and go-to-market programs. VET aims to empower more organizations with increased collaboration and productivity through the cloud. He is only an effective, experienced, public speaker on technology and personal development. With no further ado, Mr. Vet Watson.
Hi, my name is Beth Watson, and I'm the Modern Work and Security Business Lead for Microsoft Philippines. And I manage the Microsoft 365 business, including my very own Microsoft teams here in the country. Now, I'm very excited today to be joining Radius in this event to talk a bit about how Microsoft can help in your school's journey towards enabling hybrid learning. Now, we fully acknowledge that hybrid learning is more than just enabling video conferencing while we're in this COVID situation. But moving forward, how do we help you reimagine education as we see a more blended approach between digital as well as in campus learning? With that, let's jump right into my presentation. Great. Now, we fully understand now that hybrid learning is here to stay. Even as students begin returning to campus, the blend of remote and in-person education will be crucial for the future. Even us at Microsoft, we've significantly been impacted by the shift to remote work necessitated by the COVID-19 crisis. So we ourselves understand the challenges that come along with the situation, and we want to help however we can. Now, many schools turn to a lot of video conferencing solutions to do the initial response, right? To immediately enable remote learning. But now that education is shifting into the long term reality of hybrid learning, we want to help you build a foundation to help all students succeed. Hybrid learning involves much more than just virtual classes. It is a holistic, reimagined learning experience that enables all students to continue their education regardless if there's a global health crisis, a weather challenge, transportation limitations, or any other obstacle that they may be facing that would challenge them to get to school, right? So we believe hybrid learning is multimodal. It's interactive, meaning that the ideal learning environment offers a diverse selection of tools and capabilities to keep learners actively engaged. Right? It's both synchronous in the classroom as well as asynchronous activities that we can as students, continue to do even while we're not in the classroom, which means that assignment workflows and class teams and other methods of offline engagement are included in addition to live class sessions. And perhaps most importantly, hybrid learning is all about thoughtfully planned infrastructure. It's not just a temporary response to a crisis, it's the new normal for education, and it's the path schools must follow to succeed in this future. Now, before we discuss the specific ways we can help enable hybrid learning, it's important to note that Microsoft is deeply invested in education worldwide. Microsoft has been a philanthropic and strategic partner to schools and universities for decades. Between diverse offerings for learning and skills development, millions of dollars donated towards education focused nonprofits, and proven thought leadership, we're very much invested in education now as well as for the future. As schools adjust to the reality of hybrid learning, we're maintaining and expanding our education investments, and we remain deeply committed to our mission of empowering every student on this planet to achieve more. Microsoft is partnering with schools and universities worldwide to enable hybrid learning solutions during the transition back to school and also for the future. 61% of instructors and leaders expect full hybrid learning, and 87% expect to use technology more than ever. So we want to offer our assistance and expertise in deploying new technologies. Microsoft 365 A1, which includes Microsoft Teams, is available to your schools for free. And we have dedicated cloud specialists to support you every step of the way, from reimagining all the way to deploying this and fully understanding your school's needs. Now, as schools prepare for the 2021 to 2022 school year, new challenges are arising that we deeply understand. Some of the biggest questions we're hearing from schools such as yourselves are around the topics of enabling inclusive learning, empowering instructors and staff to be ready for this new hybrid learning, and transforming school operations as well. Schools are trying to determine how to set up online learning that integrates with some of the existing solutions that you've already invested on. How do you accommodate in-person instruction and include students of all abilities and backgrounds? How do you ramp up instructors and staff on new technologies quickly, all while maintaining communication rhythms with your constituencies and fostering a remote sense of school community? Microsoft is meeting schools and universities across the globe where they're at on their hybrid learning journeys, whether you're just evaluating your situation or you're in a bit more of the advanced stages where you have, at the very least, your identity management strategy in place with a few solutions that may be siloed, right? We're helping schools and universities achieve sustainable, systematic hybrid learning at scale while recognizing the unique needs of specific learning communities. We are providing thousands of education users with the no cost solutions you need right now, helping to accelerate your hybrid learning journey on a foundation of security, compliance, and compatibility. When you think about Microsoft Teams, there's this common notation that when you think about Teams, it's any other video conferencing solution. But really, Teams offers a holistic learning experience including text, voice, and video chat so that students can easily stay in contact with instructors and with each other. Integrated with Microsoft Stream, Teams also allows instructors to stream, record, and upload lectures or PowerPoint presentations. But a virtual classroom is more than just the actual class sessions that are happening online. Teams includes connectors for hundreds of third-party apps so that you can access all the resources you need in one place, including seamless integration with SharePoint where your files may be, OneDrive, and the rest of Microsoft 365 so that users can collaborate on live versions of documents, presentations, worksheets, and so much more. Keep students engaged by allowing them to create their own teams for clubs or for student government. When I was in college, we were using Microsoft 365 as well. And I remember setting up, as president of our student council, our very own SharePoint site that allowed students across the student body to access our calendar for activities. Now, in addition, Office accessibility tools help include students of all abilities and backgrounds, such as those with physical or invisible disabilities, and potentially even English language learners, right? The Office accessibility set includes immersive reader, live captions, speech to text, inline message translation, accommodation for assistive technologies, and much, much more. Together, these features also help you meet key national compliance standards for accessibility. Now, here are just a few examples of how Teams and other integrated solutions can enable inclusive digital learning. The word I do want to highlight here is inclusive because we have to be cognizant that our students may have different needs, right? Now, here's just a few more examples. You can link Teams meetings into your very own LMS or learning management system by leveraging assignment workflows to host readings, quizzes, and more. You can record class sessions in Teams, complete with screen sharing, live captions, and transcription for students to be able to reference later. And you can also record PowerPoint presentations as well, right within PowerPoint. Microsoft also offers other classroom solutions. For instance, you can promote engagement by encouraging students to make their voices heard through something like Flipgrid videos. Now, Microsoft Teams drives student outcomes by bringing together online classes, assignments, files, collaboration and built-in accessibility tools all in one place. Take advantage of meeting features like hand raising, right, chat, recording with transcription, and more to engage every student during class. Teams also offers innovative views like Together Mode to stimulate an in-person classroom experience, especially now that we can't. Teams includes built-in apps for Microsoft solutions like Office 365, but it doesn't end there. We also have connectors to hundreds of third-party apps like Adobe Creative Cloud to Kaltura to Quizlet. And the cool thing here is that we also integrate very much with our very own Power BI. So it gives you the ability to track student grades, performance, collecting data-driven insights that help you tailor instruction for every student. You can also build custom apps and bots through Power Platform, part of Microsoft 365, and also integrated into Teams. So you can personalize the learning experience based on how you want to manage your class, no? For English language learners or potentially even students with disabilities, Teams comes with comprehensive accessibility tools within the Microsoft 365 suite, including immersive reader, translation, and other features. And you can also activate live captions for meetings. While the maximum number of participants for now is 300, we are actually rolling out a lot more capabilities to reach up to more than 1,000 users. This feature is great for addresses by leadership or large events like orientation or even graduation. A great example is how DepEd has managed to do virtual graduations using Teams. Now, finally, Teams combats the trend of bad actors infiltrating virtual class meetings in other platforms. Teams is built on a trusted cloud platform with robust identity management to ensure that you keep your meetings safe. Now, 95% of Fortune 500 companies use Windows, and Surface devices offer the best Windows experience to prepare students for their future work life. The family of Surface devices includes tablets and laptops for classroom use. Designed to flexibly meet the needs of students and professors, Surface Devices offers touch and inking for more of a experiential and accessible learning, plus LTE options so that you can connect to the internet on the go. And engineering students can use powerful devices like the Surface Pro for solutions such as AutoCAD or even potentially Photoshop, relying on high performance devices to support those experiences. Healthcare students can, leverage the flexibility, the mobility, and the high quality inking in these highly mobile working environments. Now, these are just a couple of examples of specific fields that can benefit from the versatility of Surface. Surface devices have long-lasting battery, HD cameras, cutting-edge inking capabilities with the Surface Pen, and gives a great experience of that true, whiteboarding experience that we get when we were in school, right? And the models can switch between, say, tablet mode and then laptop mode to fit different scenarios. And the best part is because Microsoft Surface also comes from Microsoft, like Microsoft Teams and Microsoft 365, it's optimized to work really good with our own software with Microsoft 365 for education. So that Surface devices can help your students engage creatively and enable your instructors to easily collaborate no matter where they are. And the most critical part, and I think one of the key differentiators for our devices is that you can significantly depend on the built-in security at both the device layer as well as the operating system layers. Surface devices include firmware TPM enterprise grade protection with Windows Hello for face sign-in as well as Windows 10 Pro security to ensure that the data sitting on those devices are protected. Now, Surface devices aren't the only option making the most out of Windows. Microsoft also offers a broad portfolio of devices that support Windows 10 and Microsoft solutions. Modern PCs available from Microsoft offer powerful processors and solid-state drives. Startups are up to 3 times faster. When I open up my Surface Pro, bam, Login, face detection and recognition, and I'm in. And apps open more quickly and are more responsive. Plus, you get built-in security capabilities and the latest microphones and HD cameras to optimize the remote learning experience. Now, on average, computers with SSDs weigh less than 5 pounds and you get longer battery life, averaging 7 plus hours of video playback. And because SSDs have fewer moving parts, fewer things can go wrong. They're more durable compared to the common PCs and laptops that you may have that have hard disks as their primary drives. And if you need a way to maintain visibility into users' devices and apps, say your company issued devices for your staff and for your teachers, or maybe school issued devices for your students as well, Microsoft Intune provides unparalleled control over data that moves through Microsoft 365 across all those devices as well. You can easily enroll those devices, reset passwords, install key applications, and manage groups and policies across those devices. As you plan for this transition, back to school, it's more important than ever to ensure that learning and resources are accessible for all students, including both those with physical disabilities and those with invisible disabilities like dyslexia or ADHD. Microsoft builds accessibility directly into every single solution, including our own products like Teams that promote all students to make their voices heard through text, through voice, or through audio. On this slide are just a few examples of built-in accessibility tools. You can activate live captions for meetings and events in Teams or for PowerPoint presentations even. Automatically generate searchable meeting transcriptions for students to review later. And leverage Accessibility Checker built within our Microsoft apps to make sure your presentations, your documents are also more accessible. There are also a plethora of features to make homework and studying accessible. Students can use the Ease of Access Center in Windows to change content size, apply color filters, and more across Windows 10. Focus Assist turns off notifications for chat and email. Immersive Reader offers innovative tools to aid reading comprehension, and other tools include text to speech and dictation. Microsoft solutions are also designed for compatibility with assistive technologies like screen readers. Now, you don't necessarily have to replace your current investments. Microsoft solutions build on the technologies you already have in place, and they ease management by centralizing your learning in one location through Teams. You can open those meetings that you have in Teams, and you can open Teams meetings from your learning management system, whether you're using Canvas, you're using Moodle, or even Blackboard and a few others. In addition, Microsoft solutions work across a range of devices. You're not just limited to Windows. It runs on Mac, iPhone, Android, and even Chromebook. Now, we do have a lot of co-sell ready solutions that you may see here. And if you want to learn more, you can definitely reach out to your partner, Radius, as well as DDLS. Now, I want to share you a great example here from the University of Texas at Arlington. Now, UTA has over 60,000 students and needed a way to connect students and staff in real time from anywhere. They ended up implementing Teams to create a single collaboration hub to improve processes, communication, and collaboration across the campus. With Teams, UTA empowered users to collaborate on coursework and projects in real time, ease the instruction process for professors, and prepare students to be successful contributors both to the classroom and moving forward to the workforce. Microsoft makes it easy to deploy these solutions at your school, ramp teachers or professors up on the new technology, and tailor the teaching experience. Instructors' lives can be so much easier than ever before with a central hub of Microsoft Teams, a place to post assignments and rubrics, track grades, schedule classes, follow up with students over chat, and even build no-code apps and flows and automating workflows for a customized educational experience. Microsoft offers a vast range of free online learning paths to prepare instructors for Teams and other solutions, plus professional development resources and courses to get them up to speed on other cutting edge technologies. And if you're trying to make the working from home experience easier for your instructors, your teachers, your staff, Microsoft also offers Azure Lab Services to replace or supplement some of those classroom scenarios that require hands on virtual labs in the cloud, as well as enable things like virtualization with our Windows Virtual Desktop to enable remote app access. Plus, you can use something called School Data Sync to create class teams within Microsoft Teams automatically based on the data you have in your student information system. Now, on this slide are just a few examples of how you can ensure back to school readiness. Now, we'll go into more detail in the coming slides. There are a lot of ways to ease the transition for instructors and your IT staff. In addition to the plethora of free online training and resources, we also offer a virtualization experience that your faculty can use so that they can access the resources they need even while you're off campus. Now, Azure Lab Services enables hands-on learning through virtual labs in the cloud, regardless of whether students are at home or on campus. Faculty or IT can easily set up virtual machines customized to their scenarios, and you can scale to as many users as you need with a click. All infrastructure is managed by Azure, lightening up IT support burden as well. Now, Windows Virtual Desktop allows to virtualize desktops remotely so that students, faculty, and staff can access the resources they need from anywhere, not just on campus, but anywhere they really are virtually. Windows Virtual Desktop supports remote access to work intensive applications, such as engineering applications that students wouldn't otherwise be able to access remotely. Virtual Desktop is available on a range of devices and is very easy to deploy and scale. And because the experience runs on Azure, all you need is an internet connection to work on any device into a powerful workstation. To see Azure Lab Services in action, you can take a look at Edith Cowan University in Perth, Australia. The University School of Science needed Edith Cowan University School of Science, uh, an isolated virtual machine capability for several hundred students. And the traditional method involving physical rooms with equipment was no longer efficient. So they leveraged Azure Lab Services to achieve virtual machine capability in the cloud. Now, as you build out the hybrid learning experience at your school, it's the perfect time to transform operations as well. Power Platform can automate and digitize processes across your organization through apps, flows, and chatbots. No coding experience required. In addition to providing insights about finance and other operational areas, Power BI can give you a 360-degree view of every student. Personalize the student journey and automate outreach to ensure students have what they need from admission all the way until graduation. And finally, Dynamics 365 builds on a unified data model to enable a range of custom education solutions, including student portals, partner dashboards, in-depth reports, and so much more. Now, here are a few scenarios that you can look at for transforming data and operations using the capabilities of both Power Platform and Dynamics 365. Now, here are a few examples of what these scenarios could look like in actual or in practice. Power App accessed in Teams, a custom web portal created in Dynamics 365, a student analytics dashboard in Power BI, and a chatbot builder in Power Virtual Agents. Power Platform is a suite of four solutions that help digitize and automate processes across your school. No coding experience required. Whether you want to, say, simplify administrative tasks or course and classroom management, Power Apps enables you to build desktop and mobile apps to make your life so much easier. Cut down time spent on back-end processes, paper-based approvals, create workflows to automate processes like assessments, compliance, communication cadences, grading, and so much more. Power BI's analytic capabilities provide actionable data about students and key school processes, allowing you to predict patterns and tailor your response accordingly. And with Power Virtual Agents, you can integrate with teams to answer questions, learn from responses, and ultimately give you predictive insights about how to customize education and administration. The Dynamics 365 Education Accelerator is built specifically for education, including both higher ed and K 12 components. You can create customized solutions for student engagement, internships, scholarships, grants, accomplishments, and so much more. Whether you want to build web portals, partner dashboards, grant tracking apps, comprehensive system views, or rich reports on internships and scholarships, Dynamics 365 can help. Now, here are just a few examples of how universities streamlined operations with Power Platform during this COVID 19 crisis. Upstate Medical University developed a self screening assessment tool for daily symptom checking. Purdue University created the Power App to determine the impact of the pandemic upon academic research. And ANS made a Power App to improve students' engagement as well as identify at risk students. Microsoft solutions also make life easier for IT and your data privacy officer, enhancing security and streamlining compliance and governance. Teams offers all identity models available within Microsoft 365, whether you want a cloud-only approach to your identity or a hybrid approach. Teams also offers multi-factor authentication and robust guest access so that IT can easily onboard external users from other institutions. In addition, Teams is Tier D compliant and it's built on Azure, which has over 90 compliance certifications. So you retain precise control over team naming, expiration of teams, and permissions to avoid issues like sprawl and bloating with too many teams created. And finally, Office 365 includes comprehensive security features from advanced threat protection all the way to data loss prevention. Now, as you deploy these solutions at your school, just remember we take security very seriously. With over 3,500 global security experts and billions of dollars invested annually, we develop we invest in security research, security development, and we use cutting edge AI and automation technologies to protect identities, the devices, the apps, and fundamentally your information. Microsoft 365 offers different security capabilities, whether you're looking at different plans of Microsoft 365. If you want to expand to more than just enabling Teams and Office 365 for your organization. Now, one great example of Microsoft 365 is when you look at Ithaca College in New York State. Now, after adopting Microsoft 365 A5, they immediately revolutionized their security approach from securing the identities, the devices with advanced threat protection or your advanced antivirus for device security, safe links, as well as safe attachments for malicious emails, and of course, Azure Advanced Threat Protection to be able to respond quickly to alerts and suspicious activity. Now, essentially, when you think about Microsoft 365, think about it holistically beyond just enabling video conferencing for your school. As you think about your holistic strategy for enabling hybrid learning, it's one angle to look at productivity and, of course, the solutions that your teachers and students will need. But as administration, thinking about your compliance to the Data Privacy Act and ensuring that the information of your students, your teachers are secure, you have to think about it hand in hand security, as well as collaboration, productivity, and the applications your school needs to enable true hybrid learning. And we just want you to know that we're here to help, right? So don't hesitate. Please reach out. A lot of the stories I've shared with you are international stories, but we do have a lot of local stories as well, such as how we're helping the Department of Education across thousands of public schools as well. So thank you so much for your time, and please don't hesitate to reach out. Reach out to your partner Radius as well as DDLS, and as well as Microsoft Philippines for any questions. For questions directly for Microsoft, you can reach out to me at Modern Work PH. That's Modern Work PH. for Philippines, that is, at Microsoft.com. Modernworkph at Microsoft.com. But first step, definitely reach out to your partner first so they can help ensure that that the journey they designed for you with Microsoft 365 is aligned to your business requirements. Thank you so much. I hope you find this session useful, and we look forward to hearing your stories of how you enabled hybrid learning. Maraming salamat po. Stay safe. Bye.
Hello and good morning, everyone. I hope you've had your coffee because we're now in our Q&A session. And we have with us today to answer your questions is the Country General Manager of DDLS Philippines, Mr. Mike Calma. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Corinne. Good morning. And also
Morning.
to help us here is our country sales manager and head of consulting and professional services, Tofen Abao.
Hello, Corinne and everyone. Good morning.
Morning. All right, guys. So feel free to send your questions for Mike and Tofen via Teams chat at the lower part of your screen. And then we'll try to answer as many of them as possible. So while we're waiting for your questions, it's time to give a shout out to our early birds in the audience. So without you knowing, we've actually been monitoring who's been logging in early because we want to thank you for showing up really early for our event. That's why we're going to give you 500 pesos worth of Grab vouchers. All right. And our lucky early birds are, all right, drum roll please. We have Miss Melody Love Abad. We have Mrs. Dalugdog. We have Sister Bernadette Padawell, SEC. And then we have Nice Opulencia, SHS. And Harriet Barrera. All right, congratulations to our early birds, and you'll be receiving your Grab vouchers via email. But don't worry, guys. For those of you who haven't received any prizes yet, we have another raffle coming up at the end of the event. So make sure you stick around. All right? Okay, so it looks like we have some questions in already. So let's begin our Q&A. Mike, Tofen, are you guys ready?
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 All right. For the first question, how does Microsoft help education?
Well, I'd like to lift from what Beth said in terms of Microsoft helping education. And she mentioned three things, right? These are underpinned by the desire to enable inclusive learning in a single digital hub. And number two, to ensure readiness for the back to school transition. And the third one is in transforming data, insights, and workflows. So those are three big things, right? But I think at the meat of it all, it's all about going beyond the virtual classroom, virtual classes, or video conferencing, and ensuring that all work items or workflows are addressed by not only the Microsoft solution, but the existing investments of our esteemed schools and educational institutions.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Tofen, you have anything to add?
Yes. For me, I just want to show you visual so that you can actually perceive the technology. So please allow me to share my screen. All right. So can you now see my screen?
Yeah, it's good.
All right. All right. So basically, this is a typical scenario, right? If you are uh, providing remote learning, so ito rin yung experience ko when my kids are attending their class, no, they're using multiple solutions. And the problem with this is that how do we maintain the integrity? How do we maintain the security of those information using these different platforms? And most probably coming from the infrastructure side or IT side, it's very hard to maintain, very hard to manage and administer. So imagine that from the past that the school has their uh, library, right? Wherein you store your books within your library and you have an inventory of those books and information. Imagine today, how do you maintain those information? How do you secure those information? So previous weeks, no, daming nating nare-receive na mga viral uh, news and videos linking the information from coming from the teachers, coming from the students. So how do we protect ourselves using those platforms? So, and then kanina na-mention ni Beth, no? Actually, Microsoft invested a lot to 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 secure and to maintain the usability of the platform. So having those information or having those different tools, it can be integrated into one platform using Microsoft Teams. So now you can have a single hub connecting with your Office applications, connecting with your third-party applications if you have current subscription na. So it can be integrated into one place of platform. So maybe later, if we have time, I can show you and can run a small demo on how to use this platform.
All right, that will be helpful, Tofen. So, okay,
Right?
so now we know that it's a very valuable tool, right? As a hub with everything in it. So I guess the next question in everybody's mind is actually one that was sent by I suppose one of our audience.
Mm.
How much does Microsoft 365 and Office 365 cost? Is it expensive based on industry standards? And then is it worth investing in?
Mhm.
All right, let's talk commercial. So at the very basic tier, A1, Office 365 is free, right? So this is intended for users who want basic functionality, guys who just want to test it out first before going into the full suite of offerings. So in terms of value, I think one takeaway we could get is the package whereby which you call the student use benefit program. So the customer only pays for one knowledge worker. This knowledge worker could be a teacher, an administrator, or any employee of the school, and then they get 40 student licenses for free. So I think that provides best value for schools, and also the solutions that Radius provides and DDLS provides from an infrastructure and training perspective provide more value to that investment.
All right, thanks, Mike. So you mentioned Basic 365 is free, right? Actually, the next question now is, does Microsoft provide free training for school teachers?
Well, yes, for sure. So there are different modalities as far as training is concerned. Again, Beth mentioned different venues, right? For us at DDLS, this is our advocacy as well. And in your bundled solution from Radius, we've also put in training solutions for those who will use it. Again, this will ensure that the customer is able to utilize their investment fully and able to build on top of it.
All right, so you've answered the questions about tools, training, and investment. We now go to the next item that everybody's been worrying about ever since most of our activities transitioned to online platforms. So how does the internet connection requirement of Microsoft Teams compare to other platforms? And then what kind of bandwidth or speed would it need to work properly?
So Microsoft is not bandwidth hungry. Microsoft 365 that is, it only needs 3 Mbps of stable internet connection. And of course, who better to get that stable internet connection than radio?
Okay, so actually, Mike and Ofen, so many platforms surfaced over the past year, right? Since our work from home and online schooling started. And for a non-techie, for example, like me, I really wouldn't know the difference. So can you tell us what the advantage is of using Office 365 over other platforms?
Oh, that's a common question, right? There's a lot of platforms out there. And I think what would help us visualize this is the visual that Tofen showed earlier. It talks about, it describes the integration of Microsoft with other platforms, LMS specifically, that the schools use, so that you have a single hub to do everything. I have a daughter as well. She's in grade 5, and when the pandemic happened, they were very confused as to what platforms they will use, where they will meet virtually, etc. So I think Microsoft provides a holistic solution that brings everything together, from your usual video conferencing up to the tools that the students will use through their day-to-day activities.
Okay, so at least when you're doing something, you don't have to open all of these windows, right? You just have to open Microsoft 365 and then you're covered, right?
Exactly right.
Okay, and then earlier you talked about the training that you provide for teachers. But Mike, our schedules have been fluid the past year, and we haven't really been on a strict 5 to 9 routine. So, for example, there are some who are taking classes in the evening, some very early in the morning, or whatever their schedule will permit. So, I think the next question is from the night owls. Does Microsoft provide a 24/7 support for its end users and admins?
Oh yes, oh yes. So Microsoft, as you know, is a very very large corporation, especially with its partners locally. It's able to ensure that there is uptime. Showing it as often is showing here on your screen, there is a very high uptime, and you have people ready to support you. And Tofen, I think, can elaborate on this. What do these numbers mean, Tofen? The 99.98.
All right. As mentioned by Mike, Microsoft platform worldwide uptime is about 99.98% since 1998, right? If you please allow me to share my online SLA calculator, right? So if you want to convert that into minutes, no, in a daily, you just have 17 seconds downtime, and for in a month, 8 minutes downtime. So it's recalling from my previous life when I was handling retail and multinational IT infrastructure. This SLA is quite high or very hard to meet, right? So as mentioned by Beth earlier, Microsoft really invests to their platform, maintaining the integrity and the availability of the platform.
All right. Okay. So as a recap, you've talked about tools, training, cost-efficient investment, 24/7 support, and then integrity of the platform.
Mhm.
So the next burning question from the audience actually is, how does Teams handle data privacy and security?
There you go. So indeed, very, very burning question, especially most of our students are minors. So as Stephen is showing here, and he'll elaborate later, Microsoft has invested in their security infrastructure and practices such that it complies with the multinational standards, global standards that we have, as well as local regulations. Go ahead, Stephen.
All right. So as we all know, Microsoft is a cloud provider. So even their data center is also certified with different standards. And then for education, they adhere with Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. This actually federal law gives the student and parents rights to inspect and review the students' information records, and can be applied to the all messaging and email conversation within your campus or within your school. This one. Oh, sorry. And then just to share, within the platform, actually, it's a built-in within Microsoft Teams or Microsoft 365. It's a built-in compliance score wherein you can, if you are an IT or IT administrator managing your platform, no, yeah, you can use this compliance manager to assess your existing or current security landscape, or so. And then as we all know, in the Philippines, we have Data Privacy Act 2012. So it's a built-in templates within Microsoft that you can use to assess your platform. So meaning this can check and validate all the configurations that you made within your Teams, within your SharePoint, or within your OneDrive. Then it can create reports, and then you can remediate if ever.
All right, thank you for assuring us,
Yep.
Tofen. At least now we can use your platform, without fearing that our personal info will be all over the internet.
Correct.
And, okay, I think we have a few more questions in the chat box, Mike.
Mhm.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just check. All right. Is it? Okay. Oh, we answered this already. Is it secure? How does Teams handle data privacy and security? Other
Mhm.
questions?
So
Mm-hmm.
to give you a more visual, so
Mm-mm.
I prepared this. Actually, part of it depends on your plan. In your if ever that you will subscribe for Microsoft 365.
Okay.
So uh, there's a plan. For example, if you subscribe for Microsoft 365 A3 or E5,
Mm-hmm.
there's a built-in EMS, meaning Enterprise Mobility and Security,
Mm-hmm.
and that gives you the end-to-end security controls and monitoring of your data within your organization.
Yeah. And
Uh,
this
it
often this
includes
cuts
your
across all devices, right?
yes, yeah,
Mobiles,
across
laptops, tablets. Alam
correct.
niyo naman yung students natin, ang daming devices.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think it's harder to control for the information that the younger people are releasing because they're not that conscious with the information they release on the internet. So this is actually very helpful for the parents out there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So hold on, let me check if we have more questions. Okay, so I think that's it. That's all the time that we have for today. We're done with all the questions. Thank you so much, Mike and Tofen, for all the insights that you've shared. It's another day of higher learning for all of us. Okay, so everybody, now we move on to the most important part of the event, the group photo. All
Yes.
right, so yeah. So, okay, can we ask everybody to please turn their cameras on so we can immortalize this event with a group shot? Now, okay, guys, if you're shy, here's a little incentive for you. The 5 audience members with the biggest smiles will receive special prizes in the form of 1,000 pesos worth of Grab vouchers. Yes, guys, you heard that right. Just by smiling, you'll get Grab vouchers. All right. Okay. So the feature that we're using right now is actually one of the cool features of Microsoft Teams. So it brings you anywhere you want to be during the pandemic. Okay. So let's have our first photo. All right. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, we're good. We got that. Okay, so we're not yet done, guys. Don't close your cameras yet. So let's have another shot with another background. Maybe for those who are missing the beach, we can go underwater. Yeah, there you go. All right. 1, 2, 3. Smile for the vouchers. All right, we're good. Okay, one last. Maybe we can go to the theater for those who have been missing watching musicals and all, or movies. There. All right. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, we're good. All right, thank you everyone. So our judges have concurred that the best smiles and the Grab vouchers will go to, okay, our
Open.
first,
Oh,
Tofen. No, not Tofen. Okay, so the first winner is Miss Luz Sim. All right, where is Miss Luz Sim? Thank you for that very wonderful smile this morning. All right, the next winner for the best smile and Grab voucher is Miss Mary Grace de Guzman. And then the third winner is Mr. Miguel Lim. And then the fourth winner with the best smile is Miss Beverly Rivera. Okay, and then the fifth winner, oh, we have this one is a lucky winner. Sister Bernadette Padawel, SPC. She was also one of our early birds. Thank you very much, sister, for joining us and flashing your pearly whites. All right. Okay, congratulations again, guys. The grab vouchers will be emailed to you shortly. Okay, so again, thank you everyone for being with us today. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. So if you have any comments or questions, you may contact Jonafe Pontino at jopontino@radius.ph or at 0928-551-0519. Her details are also flashed on the screen. Then, okay, and now I give the floor again to Mike for the closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Corinne. Such an action-packed morning. Lots of new insights for us to ponder on and act on. So I've been given the very difficult task of wrapping up all that we have discussed this morning, and I'd like to take away from what our speakers mentioned. So Kiel earlier mentioned about the disruption caused by the pandemic and how radios took responsibility in equipping organizations with the right tools, allowing them to pivot to the right path in their digital journey. Then followed when he discussed the challenges in technology adoption, specifically for schools and students, and how radios can help, starting with fast, reliable, affordable, and secure internet connection to the technology and best practices aligned with addressing your students and your teachers' needs. Finally, Vet articulated on how Microsoft is enabling hybrid learning beyond virtual classes or video conferencing through a reimagined, holistic approach, which is underpinned by 3 points: enabling inclusive learning in a single digital hub, ensuring readiness for back-to-school transition, and finally, transform data, insights, and workflows. And in the Q&A, my favorite question here is how we provide value to schools and their students. And Tofin mentioned earlier that we have bundles. Among one of them is pay for one knowledge worker and get 40 students for free. That's just one of the many benefits that you get from this particular partnership. So to sum it all up, the very essence is all on customer-centric innovation. And such innovation is accelerated through partnerships, like the partnership we have built with Radios and Microsoft. So for us as a technology consulting and training organization, our primary contribution to this alliance is enabling the people who wield the infrastructure and technology that Radios and Microsoft provide. So we're pretty much in the business with same business as our audience. So in the past years, we've seen inspiring stories of innovation and partnership, from assisting large enterprises as well as SMBs accelerate their digital transformation, our corporate learners gaining certifications and contributing more to their organization, and of course, enriching their careers. With matching unemployed or underemployed learners with potential employers, our first partnership with the college in reviewing and validating their computer science curriculum to ensure that their students are job ready. Of course, this includes the financial aspect when we partnered with a financing company to help students with financial difficulties afford quality education. This is especially important during this challenging time. And last, closest to my heart, is when we hired 2 persons with disabilities as our interns under the Microsoft Enabler program. So I hope that we can continue this conversation and we look forward to partnering with all of you. Maraming salamat po at mag-ingat po tayo palagi.